All right. I don't know which camera to look into. Jake DeLong here with Jesse from Stick to Your Guns. What's up, man?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
How's the All-Star Tours been treating you guys so far?
Very, very well. Like we were talking about briefly before, it's a tour that a lot of people, more than actually I thought, had never heard of us, which has been it's been very good, because that's the reason why we do these kinds of tours. You know, people. I think most of the people who listen to Stick to Your Guns would rather see us on a smaller tour in a smaller venue, but you know, we do these kinds of things so we can grow as a band, and people can come, and people who never heard of us can find out who we are and expand, I guess, do the things that bands are supposed to do.
Is there any... I read a comment once, like you guys were out with Terror and...
Trapped Under Ice and Your Demise and Close Your Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun tour.
And somebody posted a comment on there that said that you guys weren't doing those tours anymore because you just needed a change of pace. Like, is there any truth to that? Like, you had went as far as you can with that hardcore crowd, necessarily?
I mean, it's not that we went as far as we could. It's that we were. I think we were just trying to make ourselves fit into a box that we couldn't fit into. You know what I mean? And normally, the average hardcore Joe doesn't really consider Stick to Your Guns a hardcore band, or B, a band that they really like in general, which is fine. It doesn't really concern me at all. But, you know, there are some hardcore kids who do and who like our band, and you know, we seem to be a point of controversy within you know, what hardcore is and isn't. But like I said, it's a conversation that I don't even want to waste a single breath having or getting into, because it's just like, it's a waste of time, and people thinking arguing about hardcore being some sort of conversation that has any substance is just it makes my mind numb, and it's not important. It's silly. That's like we always talk about all the time. That's the best way to describe it. It's silly. It's silly little kids arguing about nothing. It's something that they think is important that they will soon realize is not.
I hate genres and labels and trying to fit people into one or another.
The thing is, though, I do understand it, you know, and from where hardcore came from, and you know, it's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be a tight-knit club of kids who were outcasted by whatever. And you know, but it's not the 80s anymore, you know, and it's not even the 90s anymore. It's just a new era, I guess, and hardcore to me apparently is something different than it is to a lot of other people, because I feel like not change, but going out and trying to maybe push the boundaries a little bit is something that should be celebrated and not you know, looked down on. So I don't know, whatever.
Well, if you're saying that, then is that kind of the approach that you took with Diamond?
I mean, I guess I'm doing, me and the people, Chris, the other guy who writes in the band, we're doing things that, you know, I think that we think that is hardcore to us, but also going, oh, this we don't want to be that just generic, like, oh, cool, let's do something different instead of the same fucking record that 150 bands have put out in the last 6 months. You know what I mean? Because why? What's the point of that? Singing about the same fucking thing that no one in this band can even relate to. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, we're singing about the things that are important to us. We're writing music that we think is genuinely interesting, and that's all that matters. The whole, you know, like I said, the whole conversation of you know, where we come from and what hardcore is not a conversation that I even want to be caught dead having, because it's, like I said, it's not important.
All right, well, we are about 4 months past the release of Diamond.
When did that come out?
I want to say it was March 27th.
Is that correct, Andrew? Yeah. Can you confirm that?
Yeah. All right, yeah, facts. So we're about 4 months out from it, 4.5 now. Looking back on that, how proud of you? How proud are you of that record?
I think as proud as I possibly can be. What do you think, Chris?
Not proud. I'm just checking out this interview.
Chris is proud. Yeah, it's definitely our favorite album. I would think everyone, the consensus in the band is that it's everyone's favorite album to date. You know, and that to me, that's something that's good. You know, we don't want to be caught with a Saint Anger on our hands where we have an album that we all you know, make fun of it. As each album comes out, you know, we want to be as proud as we possibly can be of it. And I think what separates this album from Hope Division is we had more time. You know, that's pretty much, to me, and my view on it, is what separates it and makes it a better album. We just had more time. We were able to go, hey, yeah, we want this. This is cool. And we were able to go, oh, this sucks. And we were able to, you know, do things like that. Whereas with Hope Division, it was very, I don't want to say last minute, but it kind of was. You know, we didn't really have as much time to do the whole process of weeding out the shit that we think sucks, or putting in things that, you know, whatever. I even look back and go, oh man, maybe we should have done this, maybe we should have done that. You know, the whole thing I felt was rushed as far as the, you know, the amount of time we had to record, the time to write the album. But you know, I feel for the amount of time that we did have. It was the best we possibly could have done. And I'm not trying to say Hope Division isn't an awesome album. I love that album, you know, but it's just I think Diamond definitely is better than it.
I would agree with that. I mean, I just got into you guys like around Hope Division, like I was telling you before we started.
I love when people tell me that, man, because everything before Hope Division to me is just, you know, comes from the heart. I wasn't in love with the band. That's the part where I was like, okay, this is going to be the last album Secure Guns does, and then I'm done, because there was member drama that I wasn't happy with. There was all sorts of shit that I just wasn't happy with. And so when people tell me the first album they got into was Hope Division, I go, yes, because to me that was like we were born again, you know what I mean? Not Christian, but we were just born again as a band.
Well, I saw you guys for the first time at Thrash and Burn, and that was pretty freaking amazing. And
Thrash and Burn
2010
in Chicago at the Metro?
No, actually I was in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
And
was it the Rave? Where's that?
It was the Rave.
Okay, all right.
And you know, it was pretty amazing, and ever since then I became a fan.
Awesome.
And when Diamond came out, I'm going to go on record and saying that was a freaking awesome album.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
When you guys were in the writing process, were you thinking, like, some of the songs clearly have like sing-along sections, I guess you could say?
Yeah.
Like, was that something you were actually like thinking about, or were you just thinking like, oh, this would be cool to have on the record?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think Chris actually is his whole thing is, you know, he wants to try to make it as catchy as possible. Not, you know, and it's not even, we all do, but I think he drills that in there more to make sure we do that. And at the end of the day, it does make for a, you know, catchier and better record, because it's you know, we're not, and it's not, we want to be catchy, not like radio catchy, not like that, you know what I mean, but more like hardcore kid catchy, more like, you know, these songs are memorable. We want you to be able to remember them when you are done listening to it. We don't want to just be like, oh, the song's over, and now I'm thinking about Taco Bell, or, you know, now I'm thinking about what I want to eat for dinner. We want you to continue thinking about the song once it's over, you know, and that you know, I think that's definitely something we do think about. We don't let it, you know, completely flood our creative, you know, well, I guess, so to speak, but it's something that is definitely taken into consideration, and it's up there on the priority list, but it's, you know, not number one priority. But I think now it's just from our style of writing, and just that me and Chris have written together for a while now, and we know each other's styles, that it's kind of a thing that it presents itself, as opposed to us going and trying to do it. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to make it like sound catchy, it's just something that I think, because of our writing style, is something that it, you know, it's just there. Yeah, exactly.
My favorite song.
We're the greatest band that ever lived.
Threw me off getting my game
joking.
hard. My favorite song off the whole album is track number 6, and I always forget the fucking name.
Ring Loud?
Yes, that's it.
I like that one too, and I think we'll, on upcoming tours, I think I wanted to play it on this tour, and it was talked about, and everyone was down for it, but, you know, the amount of time that we have, you know, is not enough time, so we got other songs in there, because we don't want to just come out and play all new ones, because I know that bums people out. As much as it would make us very happy, yeah, it would bum everybody else out, so we gotta find a mix between what we want and what people who are paying to come see our band want. So I think on the next tour, maybe definitely a headliner, but you know, we got some other things in the works. to where if we have more time, we'll definitely try to get that one in there.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing that one live someday.
That was a fun one to even record and do. Right.
Kind of drawing a blank here. How did the We Still Believe acoustic track end up happening? I mean, I know Ash like wrote a little commentary like.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's not true. It was our manager, you know, everyone was pushing that one as the single. You know what I mean? Like that's the single. We're kind of just like, well, whatever. You know, cool. I guess if that's what you think. I think each person kind of has a different opinion about what they think the song on the record is, if there is one. You know, that definitely is a good song. We really do like it, but we weren't writing it to write the single. It's just kind of that. Like I said, that's just another song that just happened. You know. And then our manager Ryan, a very good friend of ours and also / manager, was saying, you know, we want to try to do different versions of it. We want to try a different version of, like, you know, they wanted to do all this shit to the chorus and of the actual original song, which we did. We bent a little bit for them, but we didn't, you know, completely do what they wanted us to do. And then I was like, well, look, I can do it in an acoustic version. You know what I mean? I can get something I can do. And he was like, yeah, you should definitely do that. And apparently that's something that Ash had already wanted, but I think the dog didn't want to ask me that because he was afraid I was just going to be like, no, fuck you, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, that it was very nerve-wracking for all of us, especially me, just because I know it's that kind of thing can be very under a lot of scrutiny by people who listen to this kind of music. You know what I mean? They can go, oh, fucking, you know, all sorts of ignorant shit they say, fucking, oh, only faggots play acoustic guitar or whatever. You know, whatever horrible shit people can say. But it's just, you know, I like doing that. You know, I like playing the guitar, and you know, that was the first time I was really recorded playing an acoustic song and have it being shown to the world. You know, so I was very nervous about it, and it went very well. You know, and I go when I read the comments from time to time. I try not to do that anymore, just because anytime I read negative stuff, I'll admit it. It's like, fuck. But I'm much better with it now than I used to be. I used to fall apart when I would read negative criticism, but now I just read it and go, oh, look at that, I'm a cocksucker. Oh, all right, well, anyways, I'm going to continue on with my life now.
Yeah, well, that's what I've learned, especially with me, like, filming hundreds of bands. I don't, you know, people are going to talk shit nonstop. Yeah, exactly. People come to videos of bands they don't even like, just talk shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what are you doing here? I don't even get it. I don't.
Yeah.
But, anyway, back to the acoustic stuff. Is that... You recently had a Kickstarter project to do an acoustic album, and that was funded, right?
It was.
So,
much to my surprise.
You know, how did that come from the acoustic performance that you did and the reception you got from that, or was that something always in the back of your head, like, I'd like to do an acoustic album?
I mean, both definitely. I got a lot of feedback. People were like, you should do a whole acoustic album, and you know, whatever. And I was always kind of just like, no, I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to be like. Just mostly what it is, I see the headlines now like, singer, you're going to start side project, and it's like, motherfucker, every week on Lambgo you have 70 of those headlines of like, this fucking asshole from this stupid band starts a dumb side project, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean? I don't want to be the guy who's the singer who, you know, like, you're actually wearing my shirt right now, so that's going to be very funny to say, but who starts a clothing company and like sells his shirts at the fucking merch table and has the side project, and you know what I mean? It's just like, my focus is stick to your guns. But it was actually my roommate who talked me into doing a Kickstarter. He said I should ask for $5,000. I hysterically started laughing because I thought that was way too much money. I did $2,000, but I was just telling the guys yesterday, I'm going to lose money on it because I'm already, without even recording the record, I'm already in the whole, like, I got $2,100, so it actually went past what I needed. After Amazon and Kickstarter took their cut, I was left with about $1,800. And with all the other stuff I had said, you get, you know, if you donate this much money, you get fucking whatever. I'm already in the hole about $1,700 and that's without even recording the record yet. So,
damn.
But I mean, I wasn't trying to make money off of it. I was just, you know, that was more of just like, hey, if you guys actually want me to do this, then, you know, let's see. And it went well, I guess. And I'm recording September 11th. I go. Actually, that's crazy. 9/11. I'm going in and recording with a friend of mine, and hopefully I can talk him down on the price to about $100.
I hope so.
Which won't happen, but fuck it, I don't care.
Well, I hope so, man. And going back to what you were saying about, okay, I'm wearing your shirt. This is not like your fucking clothing line. Like you put this shirt out. Like I wore this. That's kind of a Mark thing to do, to like wear the shirt of the person you're going to talk to. But like I did this just because, like, okay,
trick,
this shirt Jesse put out because, you know, he wants to like contribute to charities and shit like that. That's like different than like going and buying, like, I'm not going to name any fucking names, but going and buying blah blah blah's clothing line at the show or whatever. That's completely different, because you're just have the best interest of other people in mind.
I mean, and if I'll be honest, we have this one. We have one with Terror that just came out. I'm doing another one with another band that I'll wait to name, because two of the guys in the band signed off on it, but waiting for the other guys too. They said they really love the art that I did for it, because I design all these shirts on my fucking iPad, and so I'll continue to do that. But definitely, like, I just put out beanies, but the money I make from the beanies comes to me. You know what I mean? And for every 2 charity shirts I'll do either a beanie or a shirt that's just like some kind of hope shirt that'll come, where the money will come to me, to where I can continue. You know, because it started off really slow. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I can do this. But with the Terror shirt, it was like, you know, we're to like 15 orders a day almost. You know what I mean? So it's like the amount of time I spend on that. It's just like, oh, okay, well, you know, I want to kind of get some money for the amount of time. You know what I mean? I'm doing on this. So we'll probably do every. I'm doing one right now, waiting on it, and then I have 2 more bands that I'm going to do with charities, and then I'll probably do like another shirt just on my own, so I can make. You know, I'll probably print 50 of them, sell them for $10. You know, make $500, so I can buy some groceries and then keep doing it.
Fund.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't lose all my money. I'm very bad with business. I remember I told my manager about the whole acoustic project, and he was A, very disappointed, and B, not surprised, because that's just how I always do things. You know, I have a very big fear of, like, you know, people thinking I'm like a rock star guy who's just trying to make a ton of money. I'm trying to make, you know, money, definitely, because I want to live, and that's what we were talking about earlier, where I said I'll wait for the interview to talk about it. It's like with the band, we got to the point. There was a point in the band's career where it's like, okay, we're either going to do this 3 months out of the year and work jobs, or we're going to do it full time. And if we're going to do it full time, then we're definitely going to try to do as many tours as we can, you know, and so we can, because if we're doing this full time, money needs to come from somewhere, you know what I mean? Because it's one of those things where we tried doing it like, okay, well, we'll tour 6 months out of the year and then have jobs. But then every job I tried to get, well, they're like, well, you're here, you're worthless to us. You know what I mean? Like, no offense, but
it's like holiday help or
exactly.
Something.
We're just gonna find the next guy behind you who's available all the time. So that came to, you know, I was like, fuck, dude. It got, you know, frustrating. So we're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna do this full time, and, you know, do as many tours as we can, try to grow as much as humanly possible, because I think at the end of the day, we try to be something a little bit more than just, you know, a fucking stage dive and a mosh pit or whatever. You know, we're trying to fucking spread a message that we think is one that is very much needed, and very much one that we think is good, and we hope we can, you know. Because I was that one kid, and, you know, I would go out to shows and see bands that I love, and I saw bands like Ignite, and it's things like when I was seeing those bands play, it inspired me. You know what I mean? To now this is, you know what I mean? Because of one night, or maybe more than one night, but just because of a couple of nights where I went to shows and I was inspired enough, now this exists. You know, so it's. You know, that's a 2,500 cap venue in there. There's, you know, maybe there'll be 2,000 people there, maybe not, who knows, but hopefully at least one person in there is changed by something that we say, and that's really the only thing that we want to do.
I want to ask you about being on tour, because we've talked several times now about, like, the people you guys are touring with aren't necessarily in the same fucking genre.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, you know, whatever. So, like, how so, like,
we have Straight from the Path in the store, so that's good. And Obey the Brave, and those are dudes. But
well, here's my thing. Like, you guys are straight edge, okay? And
we are now. Every member is now. Before, every member was not.
And you tour with a bunch of people that are not.
Yes.
So, like, does that piss you off to see, like, people condoning certain activities, or even...
Not at all. Because we try not... I mean, we'll definitely, like, oh, look at that guy, he's fucking puking and stumbling into the streets. That's funny. You know, we'll do that, but we're not, like... you shouldn't, because, you know, we don't want to be the fucking, the angry mothers waving finger, like, you shouldn't do this, that's not the way, you know what I mean? That's like what the American government tries to do, and obviously that's working, right?
Yeah.
No, wrong. But it's, you know, it's more of just kind of like, we'll lead by example type of situation. Like, this is the things that we think, you know, we try to live our lives this way. If you want to, you know, live your life like that, awesome. If you don't, you want to do your own thing, you know, whatever. You know, we don't necessarily think doing drugs and drinking alcohol makes you a bad person, you know, because it doesn't, you know what I mean? It's just there's things that other people like to do, and it's just a different way of life, I guess. Just for me, though, personally, I felt that this way of life that I've chosen is the best one for me, you know. And it's you know, and straight edge isn't one of those things. This is what I try to tell people all the time too. It's not one of those things where I see alcohol and I'm like, fuck man, I need to get out of here. I really, oh man, if I don't get out of here now, I'm gonna fucking drink that, you know, because if it was like that, then I would fucking drink it. It's just one of those things. That the analogy that I give, that my girlfriend says is the craziest analogy ever, is I don't need to slam my dick in a door to know that I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't need to do that. People, oh, well, you haven't tried it. Well, I haven't tried slamming my dick in a door either, but I know, you know what I mean? To me, it makes sense. To her, she says it's fucking crazy because she drinks, you know, she likes to drink. She's not a fucking alcoholic, but she just likes to go out and have some drinks or whatever. But it's, you know, that to me is the way I do look at it. It's like, yeah, you're right. I haven't fucking tried it, but I don't need to. I don't have a want. If I was like, man, I kind of want to experiment with this, then I would, you know what I mean? But it's not one of those things. It's kind of just like, I don't drink now I move on. You know what I mean? It's not one of those things where I focus on it, you know? People just, you know. So a lot of the times when we go out to parties and, you know, or whatever, people go, oh, you want something to drink? Oh, no, I'm driving. I'll just say that. Or, like, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to go like, no, I'm fucking straight edge. Minor threat. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, because this either A, people don't know what it is, or people, or my girlfriend will be like, no, yeah, he's straight edge, and then I'll explain it, and they go, oh, that's cool, you know, I respect that, that's awesome, and then that's what it is. But a lot of this, I just don't want, it's for myself, so it doesn't matter why I'm saying, it doesn't matter what the reason is. Yeah. I'll just be like, oh, no, thanks, I'm driving, or oh, no, thanks, man, or like, oh, man, I'm still hungover from last night, and people are like, yeah, I know what you mean, dude, and I was like, all right, whatever, you know, it's just, I don't drink, that's all that matters, that's all to me that should matter. You know, I don't want to fucking try to tell people what they can and cannot do.
And you guys also tour with religious people like For Today. Like, yeah. That one comes to mind.
That's more of the issue with us. Drink and fucking shoot up heroin all you want. Don't believe in God, though.
Well, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, is that sort of the same thing, though? I mean, let's face it, you know, you're both spreading a positive message and stuff like that.
That can be debated. I definitely do think, to me, if I could I wish I could write the Cliff Notes on the Bible. You know what I mean? Because it would be like, be a good person, the end. You know what I mean? That to me should be the only thing that comes from it. With a band like For Today, I think their whole thing is to dive in, you know, to dive in head first and understand the Bible and understand what was trying to be said. And that's very important to them. To me, it could not matter less. I care more about the mud on my shoes right now than I do about that.
Should have silenced that.
You know, but it's just one of those things that, like...
That's the ringtone for my girlfriend, by the way.
That's like in Ted.
I had it before that, so yeah, I had it before that. I'll get to that later, sorry.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where it's, study the Bible all you want, people are starving. Study the Bible all you want, you know, there's homeless kids, there's people who are dying, there's all sorts of shit. And, you know, I was involved with the church growing up, and I think that's definitely, if I'm being honest, is a huge part of why now I'm so rebellious towards it, is because for so long, you know, there's a church called Saddleback Church, and they have a pastor named Rick Warren, who wrote the second best-selling book to the Bible. You know what I mean? It's called A Purpose-Driven Life. And I was involved in the band at church. I played the music, and I was involved in the drama whenever they put on the little, like, fucking plays or whatever. I was very much involved with the church, and so I wasn't just there for, like, the Sunday morning service. I was there for the 70 services a week, you know, to do this. And that's obviously not 70 services, but I'm just using that as exaggeration. But you know, so I think that's why I have this kind of more of like such a fire against it now, as opposed to like, oh, you believe in God? That's cool, whatever, I don't care. Because I try to be that way, you know what I mean? You know, whatever you need to get through the day. But the problem is, you know, the parts that they're reading into it that have no relevance to the day and age that we are now living in. You know what I mean? And to me, you know, I almost get over the top with like, okay, well, if you're going to believe things that are thousands of years old, you're only allowed to use medicine that's thousands of years old. You're only allowed to use science that's thousands of years old. You know what I mean? That to me is how I look at it, and I understand how not rational that is. But to me, it's more just like, that's not fair. You know what I mean? It's like you're willing to accept all these other like progressions of man, but yet man is so evil. You know what I mean? And it's like I that's where I don't get it. It's like, oh, you know, I had a fucking, like, there's this kid I went to school with, like, who had a really bad heart, and he had a heart transplant. And every day he's like, oh, I just thank God for my heart transplant. Yeah, fuck the doctors. Fuck the person you got the heart from. You know what I mean? Fuck all this other shit. You know what I mean? It's God. It's God. If you were laying in your bed praying about it, you would be dead right now. You know what I mean? It's like, that's where I'm just like, fuck this, dude. No. It's because of man that you are alive right now. It's because of this evil thing that you speak out against daily that you are alive right now.
This is going to be controversial, I know it.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. That's. I mean, honestly, because I'm looking at how can that be argued. I would love to see it be argued. You know what I mean? But it's just like, I understand if you believe in God, that's fine. As like a personal relationship or whatever the fuck people call it, that's fine. But the second it starts bleeding into the way that you're treating other people, that's not fair. You know what I mean? If you're a Christian, I'm not going to treat you differently. I have plenty of things to say about Christianity, but I'm not going to treat you any different as I will someone who's a homosexual or someone who's a fucking homeless junkie or someone who is Canadian. Right, Chris? But anyways, it's just there's so many, and this is another common misconception with us, because there's a couple people thought for the longest time we're Christian because we have
positive
morals,
okay,
because we have morals, which I'm glad we put those rumors to rest, because it is possible to have morals and not believe in God. There's plenty of people who think that's not possible. People go, oh, well, you know, if God didn't exist, people would just be raping and murdering each other. No, they wouldn't, you fucking idiot. I don't believe in God, and I'm not raping or murdering anyone. I'm actually doing the exact opposite of that, you know? So that is a possible thing. That does exist. What were we talking about? Christianity. Another thing, though, and I think we put out this song, "Life in a Box," on our record, where I say at the end of the song, "I'm through acting civil. Now you know how I feel," and that's towards homophobia, that's driven, that's religiously driven. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand if you're a straight man and a gay man makes you uncomfortable. I can understand that. But to call that person a fucking faggot and that you're going to be burning in hell for all of eternity or whatever, that's where I draw the line with no, that's not okay. You know what I mean? I get that someone who has a different sexual orientation than you can make you uncomfortable because it's just something you're not used to. It's just something that you're not around all the time. So that, you know, that just comes with that just comes with the territory of like, oh, I'm not used to this. You know what I mean? So that part I can understand. But it's the part where it's religiously driven. And we're not talking about strictly Christianity, you know? I don't like Catholicism. I don't like fucking Islam. I don't like any religion that is, you know, because there was a singer of a band that I won't name who I overheard was saying, like, you know what, if he wasn't, you know, if I was getting on stage and talking about Buddhism, then he wouldn't be saying this. He wouldn't be going on stage and saying, fuck Christianity. He wouldn't go going on stage saying, fuck Buddhism. It's only Christianity. And that's not the case. Because, and then my rebuttal was like, think of how many wars were started over Christianity, Catholicism, you know, Islam, the thing that people will do in the name of all those gods. How many who's killed in the name of Buddha? No one. I mean, because that doesn't exist. It's a part of their religion to be peaceful people. You know what I mean? It's a part of their religion to be caring and compassionate and understanding, especially to those who are different than them. You know what I mean? That's the difference. That is the difference. You know, there's all these Asian religions who talk about loving life, animals. I'm a vegetarian, so you know it's important to me, and loving even nature, and you know, and loving each other. And that's the kind of shit I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Am I gonna go and fucking shave my head and move to the mountains and, you know, meditate? No, but it's like, I can get behind the message of it, you know. And I understand people, you know, the people who argue, well, that's the message of God too, that's the message of Jesus, and it's like, well, you guys are doing a horrible job of conveying that message of what God and Jesus really wanted. Because I do understand, in the back of my mind, I do understand that's what he was about, and from going to church, that's the message I got. You know what I mean? It's from hearing my pastors go, man, it's really sad, you know, I have this Mormon friend, it's just sad knowing he's going to go to hell. Just like, okay, well, now I fucking want to take a gun and shoot you in your head, because it's like, that, saying that kind of shit is so fucking, it drives me so insane, you know, that it's just like, God, you're a zombie. You're a zombie. You know what I mean? Your brain is dead. You have a dead brain because you actually think those things. And it's those kinds of things, you know. And, you know, I think fucking Mormons are insane too for some of the things they believe. I have a lot of Mormon friends. You know, I grew up. My next door neighbor is fucking Mormon, huge family. I think the things that they believe are more of like a comic book than anything. You know, and I believe Batman to be more real than the things that they believe. But it's like, close that. I can't have Ruckus staring at me while I'm doing this. It's more of a thing of just like, you know, that's what you need, that's cool, but the second I guess the bottom line, the second it starts changing the way you treat people, that's when you've lost the human fight. You know what I mean? It's like there's no point in even having a conversation with you. There's no point in me trying to have a civilized conversation with Maddie Montgomery or Tommy Green from Sleeping Giant. There's no point, because even if I had facts, you know, the thing is, you know, we did it. Here's a perfect example. We were on that tour, and a woman came up to me and said, you know what, I see God in you. Tommy says the same thing. He says, you know, Jesus is speaking through you. You just don't know it. Whatever. She said, but you know, I'm glad you're still open-minded to the existence of God. And I was like, yeah, of course. And then, but later I was thinking like, well, that's not fair that she says that. She goes, well, it's good that you're still open-minded, because she's not open-minded to the fact that maybe God does not exist. And that's, to me, where the trade-off needs to come from. Sure, I'll be open-minded to the existence of God. I just haven't seen him yet. If he's going to come and make himself, you know, appear and say, yo, man, you were wrong, I'm here, I'll go, holy shit, dude, yo, sorry about all that mean shit I said, I'll change. You know what I mean? But the opposite, I think, is very rare that will occur, to where someone will be, a Christian will be open-minded to the fact that Jesus and God does not exist, and that they're not up in the sky looking down and hearing everyone's thoughts, and they know how many fucking hairs are on your head or whatever the fuck. You know, the people are not open-minded to that, and that's, to me, also, is why you can't have a conversation like that, because another person in another band who sings for another band, who I will not name, said to me, even if it was proven to me that God did not exist, I would still believe in him. And it's that kind of thinking that is just like, all right, that's why. You know, why would you do it? If it was proven to you, if you had proof in front of you that God did not exist, what is the point of continuing to believe in it? Because if it was proven to me that God did exist, I would go, holy shit, okay, cool, this is insane. Hey man, look at all this shit you've made, you know. And I'd have some questions, you know, why are you letting people starve? Why are you letting fucking humans trafficking and sex slave? Why are you letting the US government occupy all these fucking countries that we should not be in? Why are you allowing all this horrible shit to happen? Those are the questions I would have for him, but I would still go like, whoa, dude, I'm so sorry, I'm going to pray more, or, you know, wash my hands and brush my teeth more, or whatever you need me to do. But, you know, it's the other side of it, where it's just like, you know, the need to believe in him, the need to be like, okay, even if it was proven to me that he didn't exist, I still would, because it's like that. You know, it's desperate. It's like, and I understand that desperation. I understand that, like, if it wasn't for God, my life would be over. I get that, but the thing that Stick to Your Guns is trying to do is say, hey, you don't need to be that desperate. People can be good. and it's all about perspective and the way you look at life. You know what I mean? So I have atheist friends who are just as insane. You know what I mean? Who are on the opposite, who make atheism a religion. You know, so and to me that's just as fucking stupid. You know, it's the whole thing's dumb. The whole conversation about whether God exists or not is a conversation that I believe is irrelevant to the day and age that we are living in.
I feel like if you're a good person, then that's it.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm gonna go to fucking hell for the things that I've done in my life, then hey man, whatever. I'll go hang out with fucking Gandhi and the Dalai Lama down there, and we can just talk about, hey man, he's fucking mean. What's his problem, dude? Who fucking, someone must have dented his car really bad because he's got a fucking anger issue. He's got a grudge towards everybody.
All right, enough religion. Somebody's pissed off out there.
Whoa!
What was it that caused you to launch your website? Some kind of hope?
I guess some of the reasons of the things that we've been even just talking about right now. It's like people need to know that there's still good things happening, and that there's still even I put up a thing with there's that guy Sam Perkins that we dedicated our song to, and that whole thing, that's very tragic. And I did a write about his parents, because it's like I have yet to feel that kind of grief. I know I will, you know what I mean? Everyone will feel that kind of pain, but the positivity that has come from it, and it's those kinds of people who exist, and people need to know that, because there's people every day who will lose someone that's very close to them, and there's certain people who just can't handle things the way other people can. Me, I wouldn't be able to, you know what I mean? It would be very hard for me. But there needs to be proof, and that site is meant for, like, look, we're trying to set up some sort of, like, I guess it's just a website for people can come and just see, like, okay, hey, everything's not so shitty, you know what I mean? And there's people, this guy, and I even say on there, on all my little write-ups that I do, I'll just be like, look, I'm exactly like you, I get fucking pissed when someone cuts me off, or when, you know what I mean? But it's just don't get mad. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying don't be angry about things, because anger is a good emotion. Hate, I think all these emotions are good. Every emotion's good. To feel, it's necessary as a human to be able to feel them. But it's it's kind of just started from me pointing the finger at everyone else and turning it and pointing at myself, going, oh, okay, all these people are just a mirror of me. All these people, oh, fuck what that person's doing. Oh, wait, that's you. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Oh, look at that person. That person did this. Yeah, you did the exact same thing. Fuck you. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the biggest thing. It's like, oh, I'm mad about someone cutting me off. There's not enough people in the world that have the amount of fingers that can count the amount of times I've cut someone off. I'm not allowed to be mad about that. You know what I mean? I do that constantly. Not on purpose, but it's just more of just me not paying attention. You know what I mean? Or just anything that I can get mad about someone doing to me, I've done to someone else. I think we need to just be more lenient. We need to be like, oh, hey, whatever. Oh, yeah, that sucks, but I've done the same thing to someone, so I don't know. Then there's more just my thoughts. If I'm speaking from a strictly selfish point, it's like, it's more of like, because I have all these thoughts, and if they stay bottled up too much, then I go crazy. So I try to get them out, and I'm fortunate I got enough, I guess, to have people read them and then relate to them in one way or another. So
I think you do.
People send me comments and stuff that I do read every single one of them, and whether I respond back or not, it's just it does help me. So I like reading those. I like reading all the comments and nice things that people say.
A lot of good things to say.
And I mean, I do like reading the bad things too. Because you can't take one without the other. It wouldn't be fair of me to go, no, I don't want to read the bad stuff. I only want to read the good stuff. So, like.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the stuff you post, like, who's gonna come on there and be a dickhead about it?
Everyone.
Has there been?
Yeah, there's been people. I mean, not everyone, obviously, but there's been people who have just like, hey, you're an idiot. Okay, or hey, I disagree with this. I think this is fucking stupid that you said this. All right, it's just I'm not saying I'm not. That's the thing. People, I think, are like people want to take things like that. For instance, you know, we'll go back to the Bible. People need something to like, oh, this is how I'm going to live my life. People can't just read something and go, oh, that was an interesting piece of writing, and then move on from it. You know what I mean? And take, I guess, what you want from it. But I'm not trying to write things for people to like print out and hang up on their wall. Like, oh, I need to live like this. That's not just like, oh, hey, that's an interesting thought. You know, like I'm not trying to. I don't have the guidelines for on conscious living on the way people should live, because I'm gonna fuck up just as much, if not more, than other people. So it's like, I just write it. I write it down. I just write things down. That's what I do. I like to write things down.
That's right, you do, man. Like, I was just on there, and because I keep checking, like leading up to this interview, I was obviously looking into everything you do, but I had already, you know, been a fan for a long time, and you finally came out of like a 3-month silence or something for the events in Aurora and the thing in Wisconsin, exactly. And it's just those kinds of things compel.
Well, it sucked too, because for that a long time where I didn't write anything, I was very like, I don't know. I was very busy with doing this because this picked up a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing a lot of writing for that acoustic thing, because I was like, shit, I actually have to do this now. You know what I mean? That actually got funded. I forget every once in a while. I'll wake up in the morning and go, fuck. So actually, you know, I have to give people their fucking what they bought. But also, it's just I was feeling very uninspired, I guess, at the time. But now, you know, coming back on tour and being with these dudes, that's when I do most of my writing. You know, you'll see a lot of these things will start off like, oh, we're in fucking Cleveland, it's 3 a.m, or oh, we're in fucking Kentucky, and it's, you know, we're on the way to the show. It's because, you know, being in this kind of situation, I get in a different mindset when I'm in like my stick to your guns mode, you know, than I am at home. I think I would like to continue that mindset. That's, I think, why I'm doing these, and like, you know, I don't want to stop. I don't want to just be like the good guy on tour. I want to go home and live the things that I say, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I owe that much, at least. It's like I'm saying all these things that I think are right, and if I'm not living by the words that I'm saying, then I'm just, what am I? I'm nothing, you know. So,
all right, man. I think I've taken up enough of your time, man.
It's all right. Yeah, we're gonna go eat, dude.
Yeah. So you guys go run and go eat, and it's been a pleasure.
Of course, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.